Are you interested in the Nintendo Switch Pro? Are you wondering when it might launch? Well, my friends, I may just have a solution to that question. Check out my video on the Nintendo Switch Pro potential launch date coming up next on Mumbles. Hi everyone, Mumbles here from MumblesVideos. Today we are doing some more gaming news. Now, over the past couple weeks, we know that the Nintendo Switch Pro rumors have been going absolutely bonkers. I've done a couple videos on those myself, and everyone has their own opinion on when it will launch, what the price will be, all that kind of stuff. Today, I am going to give you and break down and show you some data on why the Nintendo Switch will launch this November of 2021. Mumbles, how are you going to do that? Does your dad work at Nintendo? What do you know that we don't know? No, people, my dad does not work at Nintendo. It'd be kind of sweet if he did, but he does not. But what I do know is history of Nintendo. I know all the launch date of their consoles. Today we're going to look at this history to determine when Nintendo will launch a potential Switch Pro. Let's jump straight into the data right now. Guys, the first thing we need to know is when Nintendo launched each one of their consoles. So I'm going to go through a list of all of Nintendo's consoles and when each one of those launched. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these dates, we're going to compile them down to months, and we're going to look and see when Nintendo is most likely to launch any console. So any console that comes out, when in history had they normally launched consoles. I did create a pie chart for you guys to see, and here is that chart. Basically what this chart shows is that 22% of the time, Nintendo chooses to launch their consoles in November. 18% of the time, they choose to launch their consoles in October. 14% of the time, Nintendo chooses to launch their consoles in July. 11% of the time, they choose to launch their consoles in April and March, and so on and so forth, as you can see here. But I'm going to break this down even further for you guys. In looking at the 28 launches that I've mentioned, those 28 launches, 10 times launches occurred in the first 6 months of the year. Only 10 out of 28. So, in January, February, March, April, May, June, only 10 times did launches occur in those 6 months. Now, that is all through the history of Nintendo. 18 times has a console launched in the last part of the year, last 6 months. So July, August, September, October, November, and December. Now, if we look at just the last 20 years of Nintendo, they have launched 19 consoles. Of those 19 consoles, 6 have launched in the first 6 months of the year. 13 have launched in the last 6 months of the year. So guys, I think you can see where I'm going with this. I am predicting an announcement at E3 that the Nintendo Switch Pro will be launching in November, and I'll take it a step further than that. I'll even give you days. I believe the Nintendo Switch Pro will come out sometime between the days of November 17th through November 21st, because in history, those days have been important launch days for Nintendo. But Mumbles, the Nintendo Switch, the original one launched in March. I know. But we did see that Nintendo returned to the holiday strategy by launching the Nintendo Switch Lite on September of 2019. So they like that strategy of holiday releases. But Mumbles, the original, okay, all right, I'll address it. The original Nintendo Switch Pro did not come out during a holiday out of necessity. It wasn't ready to go, and Nintendo themselves has been, there's been articles done on it that have said that Nintendo was afraid that competitors would steal their ideas, so they didn't release anything until it was ready to go. So they launched it that time out of necessity. They couldn't wait for holiday of 2017. They had to go now. So what I'm trying to say here is I'm discounting the fact that Nintendo launched the original Switch in March because it was done out of necessity, in my opinion. So that brings us back to what I'm saying here. Again, I am predicting a November launch for the Nintendo Switch Pro based on the data that I have given you. 22% of the time, Nintendo likes to launch things during November. But more than that, they love holiday launches. So it just makes sense to me that if everything goes according to plan, there's no backups, there's no anything like that, nothing crashes or anything like that, we don't have any more worldwide issues, that we will have a November 2021 launch of the Nintendo Switch Pro. Guys, this has been another episode of Mumbles. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this video. I know it's a little bit different. We did kind of a deep dive. We used numbers and stuff, which, trust me, was very scary for me. I hope it wasn't too scary for you, and I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Thank you guys all so much for joining me. Like I said, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Do you think that I'm wrong in this prediction? Do you think I'm right in this prediction? What is your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, guys, this is going to be Mumbles signing off. Please smack the subscribe button, smack the like button, and smack all those buttons. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.